Let's go. Man, are you feeling motivated, ready? You accessing everything that God has assigned for your life? Come on, are you pursuing it and going after it? Is this word blessing you? I love how Pastor Anderson said, I came to push you, I came to provoke you. That's really the season and the time that we're in. No more stagnation. We are moving, trusting in the Lord all the way.
I'm in my bag, that's for sure. I'm walking in this favor, it's secure. No need to brag, just see the drip. Got the oil from the Father and it's dripping now. Fill me up with purpose, I ain't slipping now. He gave me all I needed, it's a win right now. Now I need you to stop all that complaining and put the plan on work and let him take the lead. Let's go, 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 yeah. So anyway you leave me alone, I follow, yeah. Anyway you leave me alone, I follow, yeah. So let's go, we ready, so let's go, yeah. So anyway you leave me alone, I follow, yeah. Anyway you leave me alone, I follow, yeah. And if you're looking for a sign, turn your volume way up high and let this word change your life. Yeah. Let's go, let's go.
We out.
We're ready.
See ya.
Don't sit there.
In your purpose.
Let's go.
In your destiny.
Let's go.
See ya.
Let's go.
In your calling.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Let's go.
No more time.
Let's go.
No more time to waste.
Let's go.
Get up.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Get up.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Get up. Let's go.
So anyway you leave me alone, I follow. Yeah. Anyway you leave me alone, I follow. Anyway you leave me alone, I follow.
We in the glow, y'all. And I'm so glad that you're here tonight. Love is the topic. We're gonna talk about love stories. We about to get it in, all right? You need to tell everybody you know to get in the glow. Don't miss it. Hey, don't miss it. You don't wanna miss it. Don't miss it. Nate?
Maybe there seems to be some insecurities about the way I feel, where I wanna be. Well, you know it's with you. No one can do the things you do to me. Never to be mistaken, long as it's love we're making. There's gonna be some rain, gonna be some pain, but I know it's a no. For time will show, our love will grow.
'Cause love,
I know love will be
right here. Come on.
Be right here.
Love's right here, y'all.
Right here. Be right here. No fear.
Love's right here.
Have no fear.
I need you to tell somebody that love's right here. Come on, love right here. Hey. Love's right here. Love's right here. Love is right here. That was dope.
Yeah.
Did you like that?
Of course.
Man, you rocked the rendition.
One of my favorites.
Love is here. Love is now. Love is right here, right now. And tonight,
It's gonna be good.
I'm excited. If you can't tell, I'm so excited. We spread the room out. Not only is Pastor Erica here with me tonight rocking, but man, we got some guests in the building tonight. And it is going to be a great conversation and a great discussion as we talk about these dynamics of love. And tonight's topic specifically is going to be about what a woman wants and what a man needs. Man, this concept we learned from Dr. Miles.
Yeah.
He talked and taught about the dynamics of how men and women are wired differently.
Yeah.
And how we are open to and built different, and God really has aligned us in a particular way. And so we got a panel of guests, some married, some single, but all men and women. And in that dynamic of it, we're going to just have some open, honest conversation tonight. Thank you for taking time, Kai, Leo, Donald, Sean, Janae, Jackie, for being with us as we deal with what a woman wants and what a man needs. First of all, we got to set it off the tone. It's Black History Month, and so we love love. We've been talking about Black love stories. We got love stories at New Life all around us. We dealing with different variations, why we love love, why we love stories. We talked about it last night. Why y'all think we so in love with love? The concept of love. Why do we love stories? Anybody want to jump in on that real quick? Who wants to go? Y'all all looking at each other like, you go. Just go. Janae, I know you want to go, Janae. Go ahead.
Testing.
It's on.
So I love. I really do. I love Valentine's Day. Honestly, Christmas is great. Thanksgiving is fine. I love Valentine's Day.
Really?
And I think it's because of all of the Disney movies.
Oh, my God.
Seriously, just growing up.
That's true.
Watching, Beauty and the Beast, Cinderella. I mean, it was like such a perfect fairy tale.
That's interesting, yeah. So that shaped that childhood, dreamy dream, love,
Yes.
shaped, built. You talked about that last week, how as a little girl, people look up to these stories and the stories, how they tell in love, and it just makes you believe in love. Yes. I mean, you glowed up when you said,
I thought Christmas was her holiday.
I thought it was Christmas.
Okay. And she
It's
was
love.
Like, it's a whole nother thing with Valentine's Day. I didn't know.
Love. Anybody else want to go? Somebody else want to talk about why you think we love stories?
I think we love because it's one of the key elements of life, love and happiness. I think if it wasn't for things that society asks for, love and happiness are those basic essential things that we get.
Ingredients. That's real.
Yeah.
That's real. That's true. It's what you living for.
Exactly.
Yeah, love and happiness. I love that. Yeah. Growing up, so we was talking about how we see these love stories in movies and our family dynamics. Love is all around us. We got these movies all around us. We talked about how love was displayed on the television. Now, this is dating us, but we don't care. We sitting in that seat. But I remember watching George and Wheezy on the Jeffersons. Now, we watched it real time. Y'all might have caught that on a replay or a rewind. But we was watching it while it was unfolding, right? And so George and Wheezy was really a great example for me of an opportunity. You see somebody moving on up. I mean, you have the good times and the hard times and the what's happening now and all that. But George and Wheezy is married. He owns the cleaners. He's an entrepreneur. They come on up to the east side, and it was just a good example, even though it had its controversial moments of a husband and wife that was committed and in love and actually building something together.
Right. I think that was the first time that I had ever seen a Black woman be a stay-at-home mom. And
have a maid.
And have a maid.
And a housekeeper.
A housekeeper, which I always was really confused by that because I'm like, it's 2 rooms in that whole house? But that was a whole nother thing. But I think that whole of her being a stay-at-home mom was just one of the first times that I ever seen a Black mother have the luxury, because that is a luxury as a Black mother, to be able to stay at home and to take care of the things of the home and make that a priority.
Yeah, that's real.
To really, quote unquote, see the Proverbs 31 woman exhibit in that way, especially.
So spiritual.
Have to see.
Weezy was a Proverbs 31 woman. Hey.
I'm just saying, she was a businesswoman, she was at home, all that kind of stuff. But anyway, that was my first time seeing a Black woman be a stay-at-home mom, because most of the times you saw a Black mother always having to work or to bring something, quote unquote, to the table and not be able to have that luxury of staying home.
Yeah, that's so good. I mean, real life, real time couples, we celebrating Black love and Black history moments and Black couples. I love Angela Bassett.
Come on,
and,
Angela,
Courtney,
come on,
Courtney
auntie.
Vance, right? So so she is like absolutely incredible. I love their love story. I love their marriage. They both went to Yale School of Drama, back in the 80s. Courtney Vance says he didn't even really recognize her, don't even remember it, back then. But then later on, they tied the knot. They got married. They got twins. They got children. They literally have a longevity, a long-lasting Black marriage. And Angela Bassett, when asked, what's the secret sauce, she said, it's just marrying the right person.
So
Finding
good.
the right person makes all the difference. And so I love their love story. I love they both secure in their identity, both doing their thing and walking it out and living it out. That's so good and so great. So so we've been celebrating love and talking about love all week, all month actually. And so today we're going to continue to deal with this while we talk about what a woman wants and what a man needs. Now, we believe that the core of who a man and a woman is, both equal in authority, both made in dominion, right? But they have different roles, different expectations. God wired us that way. And so as we talk about this, we discover that men and women, it's a book, I think Women Are From Venus, Men Are From Mars, that talk about how we're both trying to get the same thing, but we're trying to go about getting it the different ways. And so in that process, and it relates to that, I just want to set the tone for this. In Genesis 2, as God creates man and woman, we both created male and female in God's image. So man is made in God's image, woman is made in God's image. And both equal in authority, uniquely complementary for each other. Rather, in our soul or our spirit, our makeup, we are identical, but yet and still we have diversity as human beings and expressed in relationships. And again, we're not just talking about marital relationships. We're talking about just understanding the nuts and bolts of men and women, how we collaborate, how we interact with one another. And so in the makeup of how God expressed himself through man, and in the makeup of how God expressed himself in a woman, we see that man has been given the charge or the responsibility to lead, to be a leader, right? And that doesn't mean that it diminishes anyone in any way or that a woman can't lead. It just means that men's makeup is to lead. He's made with that built inside of him. He's supposed to have a vision, have a direction, have leadership built in his bones. And a woman is made, designed to help. God had the idea of a woman when he saw all the work that a man had to engage in. It was like, he won't be able to do this by himself. He needs a helper. And this helper is an equal, is a counterpart, right? This is someone who can help cultivate, help nurture, help carry. So she can't be weak. She can't be a doormat. She has to have, dodo head. Right. She comes with a dodo head. She comes with something, right? If she's really going to step into the moment to be able to support and to help. So if he's leading, she's helping. He's leading, she's helping. She's helping, he's leading. And God made us that way, right? He said, verse 18, it's not good or beneficial for man to be alone, but I will make him a helper. And I love the Amplified version. It says one who balances him, who is a counterpart, who is suitable and complementary as a help for him. Now that ain't just grabbing anybody, you know what I'm saying? That's like somebody that got something, that is somebody that's building something, that's bringing something to the table to help this dynasty. We call it power couples, right? But really it is God's design that every couple is a power couple. And that every time a man and a woman comes together to accomplish or do anything, that they literally are a power couple.
Yeah, that's so good. And I think it's interesting that in that, as you were explaining that about the Bible, that a man needs to have a vision. And I wonder, do men by them, unmarried, do they think about, like, what is the vision for my life? And the vision that I have for my life, it's too big for me to do it by myself.
So I'm looking
for somebody
That's
to
good.
help me. But if you don't have a vision for your life,
Yeah.
then yes, you don't look at
You
her
don't know how to
as
choose.
you don't know how to choose, and you don't look at her as a helpmate.
That's
you
so
don't
good, babe.
you quote unquote look at her as a roommate because you don't have a vision for yourself. And I know that when you know.
Whoa. So you not looking at her as a helpmate.
No.
You just look at her as a roommate.
Somebody to pay a bill.
Because you
Somebody
don't
to
know what you're trying to get help
Exactly.
for.
Somebody to cook a meal, like all of this other kind of stuff that you can basically do for yourself. And God only created Eve because he's like looking at him like, dude, you can't do this by yourself. Let me bring somebody alongside of you with the same qualities, the same dominion, who knows who she is, and she's gonna work with you as a partner. But if you as a man just want somebody to make you some food, you can go to Factor, you can ask Home Chef, all of that other kind of stuff. You can have somebody meal prep for you. You can bring a cleaner into your house. All of these services are able, you can do those things easily, but to have a partner that sees your vision and can help it and bring it to pass and multiply whatever you give her, she like, here, you gave me something, here sir, it's multiplied. But you can't do that if you don't have a vision as a man for your life.
I had to type that down. That was so good. I didn't want to forget that. But you know, it's so true. It's like if you start off what a man wants and what a woman needs. A man wants help, right?
Yeah.
But he has to know what he
kind of
needs help with.
he needs.
So starting with a vision is good. I mean, so God creates us equal in dominion, equal in power, male, female, we husband, we wives, we fathers, we mothers, we sons, we daughters, we brothers, we sisters, right? We all of that to each other. And this male pattern of leadership and this female pattern of partnership is the idea. So it's leadership and partnership is the goal. I'm setting a premise like this because before we get into our preferences, we have to start with the manufacturer, right? Who created us? What was God's original intent? So before we start talking about it, I just want to lay the foundation because it's a little blurry out there what exactly a man is supposed to do and what a woman is supposed to do. And we speak a lot in culture about preferences before we lay down the pattern and the purpose of God for man and woman. So I got to be strong on that, and then we're going to jump in. But the pattern is for male to have leadership and for a woman to have partnership. And if the woman doesn't feel like she has proper partnership and proper leadership, then there's always dysfunction. Right? So God's design for men and women is expressed through partnership and leadership. Partnership and leadership. When you see that working, that's what we call a power couple. That's what it is, right? So let's just live there for a second. And here's the statement. So women want a man who will lead, and a man wants a woman who will help. Y'all agree with that? Go and chime in on that. Yeah, go ahead, chime in on that. A woman wants a man who will lead, and a man wants a woman who will help. So ladies, if that's true, we all agree, then what does it look like to see a man that offers leadership?
Seeing a man that offers leadership looks like him wanting to show you his vision, show you what he has been working on, show you what his thoughts were before he even met you. Him on his way to doing something, not you just so happen to be there, but you match the vision, so he's going to show you how to complement him in the vision.
Leadership looks like vision.
Vision.
That's good. Somebody else?
I think it's also communication. Like, if you cannot communicate, you aren't a good leader.
Right.
You got to be able to tell me what you need from me, telling the people around you, our children or whoever is following you, what's next, and then implementing it, following through. So I think that communication and follow through has to be there.
That's so good. Because if you have a vision but can't articulate the vision, then we don't have no vision, right? Because I don't know what we helping. And I always say a woman can't help but help.
Okay.
And so it's so important for a man to provide leadership because if he doesn't, she's going to help. She's going to just jump in and help whether it's what you need help with or not, right? So it's like that. Then we say she's too strong or she's overpowering or whatever. she's overbearing, but the truth is she can't help but help. And if you haven't communicated or articulated what you need help with, that becomes a challenge.
Because we got to get this train going.
Yeah. Yeah, real. Janae, you want to say something about that?
I think you hit the nail on the head. For me, it's security. Because I need to be able to trust your vision.
Yeah.
I need to be able to trust you to lead me.
Yeah.
And the only way that I can develop a trust for that and a security for that is if you're consistent.
Yeah.
If you are inconsistent, that makes me feel insecure. And either we'll either overstep up to the plate and then we try to drive the train because we don't want to crash.
Right.
Or either we fall all the way back.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Then it's passive.
Yeah, you'd be like, all right, bro, you got to figure that out on your own. I'm going to be over here. You know what I'm saying?
That's good. That's real. I think we're going to get into that a little later because women needing security is a big part of that attraction. My wife and I always trip. We shouldn't be doing this, but we do it. Sometimes we watch couples that look like physically that they don't match. Like, yo, how he pull her? Like, what the heck? You know what I'm saying? I know nobody else does that. Just us. We're like, yo, how he got crazy game. Like, how he do that? She's amazing and he just whatever.
Average.
But in some sense, I think because men spend so much energy on physical attraction that sometimes that ladies, not that they don't want to be attracted, but on a higher level is stuff like communication and leadership and security that they like, you ain't that cute, but yo, you got communication, you got leadership, you got security, and you not ugly, I can rock with you, all right? Because I have a better life, perhaps, rocking with that than the rest of it. Guys, what do y'all think? What does it look like for a woman to help you? You know what I'm saying? So they said that it's leadership, it's vision, it's communication, it's security. What does it look like for a woman to help you? How do you find help in a help me?
I think for me, it's we said it, laying out the vision, but sometimes, like, I'm going on 17 years of marriage next month.
Congrats.
Right? So, yeah.
Congratulations.
I'm excited about
right.
that.
That's good.
Shout out to my baby.
Yeah.
But starting out, you don't always know the vision.
Yeah.
You know, I got married at 21.
Right.
So I just got to doing a lot of things, and she just jumped right in there with me. And then we started, the longer you become, you in this marriage, you start realizing more that you need from your spouse that you may not have needed.
You evolve.
That's good.
And you evolve together. So I think for me, they say men only want one thing.
Right.
And that thing is important.
Right, sex.
But that's not all we need.
Right, it ain't the only thing.
That's not the only thing we need.
Lauryn Hill said that thing, right, is more than just the thing, right?
Absolutely.
The thing worked, but it ain't all about the thing.
It's not all about
when
the
you
thing.
finish with the thing, you got to get up and do something with it, right?
So I appreciate the helpmate God give me, but I think as we, evolve, that help looks different.
That's good. I love that. Yeah, so help looks different in different seasons, different times. Yeah, you want to chime in on that?
Yeah,
Sean?
I'll say agreement. Like, once I express my vision, once I put out ideas, once I put out perspective or what I'm thinking, helping me to figure out what that looks like, how to walk that out, and then agreeing to walk it out.
Yeah.
Regardless if it's the best idea or the worst idea.
Right.
I mean, of course, giving wise judgment,
Right.
calling it what it needs to be, being clear, communicating, but like agreeing with me, like, hey, this is what we doing, and you rolling with me. Knowing that I got you in my corner, knowing that you the team player, that's all help for me.
Yeah, I love that. That's true because you don't want to feel like you in a relationship that you always fighting, fighting for. And the power of agreement is really a power in itself. How can two walk together except they agree?
Exactly.
Yeah, and so when you always you don't want to feel like you got a vision and you trying to always convince your spouse of the vision or convince them, to go with it or to believe in it. You want to have somebody that goes with that, and help does look like agreement. Yeah, because agreement is powerful. I like that.
That's good.
And I don't want to take it up, but then trust. There's the trust factor that comes in. It's just like being open to what I have to put out, being able to receive, not being intimidated by what I have or what I'm putting out there, or what am I supposed to do? Trying to figure out your place, trying to figure out how you fit in it all.
Yeah.
I'm sharing vision. I'm giving light. I'm throwing it out there. It's just like being able to really compliment it, not being intimidated by it, all of that.
Yeah, that's true. Trust is a factor, and in the evolution of any relationship, there's going to be failures. There are going to be times when it didn't work. And it's going to be times when we shot our shot and that didn't go. You know, so now in year 2, I shot my shot, we blew it, it didn't work. In year 10, do you still penalize me for year 2? Or can you trust again? Can you agree again? Can you hope again? Can you help again? Or are you going to always keep bringing up that last time when it didn't work, you know? And I think those moments of failure and that lack of ability to let people evolve is the stuff that ruins relationships because you just keep on throwing up the mistakes instead of realizing, yo, we in it for the long haul and let's make it work together.
Right. And that your marriage, I just have to keep saying it, is a living organism. And everything, you know, every aspect of it is evolving. Yeah. But I think, you know, and sometimes I won't say I feel bad, but, you know, I don't want to be a man. I don't. Everything in me.
I'm glad. I appreciate that. I don't want to be a woman either. I'm glad you clarified that, all right? Because if you didn't, that would be a problem. Right.
All of the things that a man has to do to have vision, to try something, to have confidence, to talk to a woman and not know she's going to accept him, to put yourself out there and not knowing if it's going to work, and you know, you just trying to have vision and just trying to make it happen. You're trying to be a leader, but you might fail. And then how do you get that confidence back up to continue to be a leader and to lead? So it's like, I always, when a man is inside of a marriage and it doesn't always, the decision that he makes doesn't work out, I always pray so hard for him that he won't lose his confidence, that he won't lose his leadership that's inside of him, that he will realize that he is a living organism. He's going to make mistakes and he's got to trust God with everything, and that woman will just simply look at him like, babe, I'm in for the long haul.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I was going to say, though, but that woman creates that freedom to fail.
Exactly.
Right? That woman gives that grace. She gives him that freedom to fail, knowing that failure isn't final. Because if you are in a situation where you don't create some risk, give an opportunity to know that, yo, we risking it all. It ain't nothing that is 100%. This whole marriage is a faith move. I'm believing you are really who you say you are. You believing I'm really who I say I am. You know, we believe in that we actually are who we say we are. You believe in you are who you say I am. I am believing the opposite of you, and we working our best to accomplish and to move forward together, right? And that whole thing is everything, and creating space in your relationship for a fail forward without it being final. You know what I'm saying? I think that's 100% key, and that's the spouse's responsibility to create that safe space. I think it's hilarious that you like, I don't want to be a man because all the things y'all got to deal with. Man, I wouldn't want to be a woman because all the stuff y'all got to deal with. You know what I'm saying? This is crazy. Like, let's just, I mean, never mind. But you understand what I'm saying? There's a whole bunch of things that I don't want to deal with none of it.
We know.
I don't want to deal with none of that.
But just in that conversation of leadership with the man, as a man, I think one of the things that before we got married, the reason why I knew I could marry you is not all about his goals. That had a lot to do with it. But it was like if it was all stripped down, and if we've been married, had children, and we got to, you know, the end of it all, that if we were homeless, sleeping underneath, you know, whatever, I had enough faith in him that he would figure it out to get us out of that. And that was the only way that I could connect my life with him, because I had to go to the worst of it. That could I still be with him if we were homeless? Could I still think he was still God's gift? Could I still think he was a leader, even if we were in a very vulnerable place that you don't want to be in, but we were together and I knew we were together? That was the only way I could be like, I could be with him homeless.
And I needed to know that if we was in that situation, that you would help me get out of that situation. And I just be like, bruh, I'm gonna need you to handle that. You know what I'm saying? Like that you had enough in you to help. Leo, you wanted to jump in on that other situation, or you good?
I thought about it because when it comes to help from your partner, I think that looks like vulnerability. Like a man would need a woman to allow him to be vulnerable. Because if you're not vulnerable, sometimes, he can't lead the way he wants to lead, because then he's leading without having that security of a woman, allowing him to have those emotions.
Absolutely.
Be vulnerable. So.
Yeah, he leading out of pride.
Exactly.
Because he's afraid to be like, yo, I'm scared. I don't know.
Yeah.
I think this is the right decision.
Exactly.
I'm not sure. We about to shoot our shot. All right, we about to jump. You ready? And if he can't be vulnerable, if he feel like he got to keep up a facade, then that's usually when he turns to his boys, when he should turn to his woman. Yeah, because he go like, my boys will be like, yo, bro, I don't know how it's going to go. Oh, we got you, take your chance. But you really want to turn to your wife and be like, I'm scared, but I'm going to figure it out. Yeah, that's real. So look, we talking about this in all aspects of relationships. Let's go back to the scripture real quick. In the marriage relationship, Ephesians 5:22 says, wives, understand and support your husbands in the way that shows and support for Christ. And then the husbands provide leadership for his wife in the way that Christ does for his church, not domineering, but cherishing, right? So it's not a control factor. Leadership is not controlling in the dynamic. It's not dominating. It's cherishing. It's valuing the context of the relationship. And then otherwise, also, it's connected to how that support and that submission is mutually exchanged. Now, one of the things that I think I love about this talk is that we learned that all men translate love differently than women. And women translate love as love, right? So women need love. Men translate love as respect. So men need respect. Women need love. Men don't need love, or how they need love is translated through respect. And women need love, and how they need love is translated through words and love and emotions and actions, basically. It's like women don't say you love me and your behavior don't show that you love me. It's contradictory. And then men is like, don't say you love me and you don't respect me. What y'all think about that? Men need respect, women need love.
Go ahead.
First of all, I can't speak for all men. I think,
course, none of this is
for sure.
generalizations, right?
But I think the idea that love is separate from respect is kind of weird already, because I think respect comes with love, because like we said earlier, that's security, that's being vulnerable, that's understanding like your partner in that level where it's trust. So respect is within love itself. So if for a man to think that, I have to get love, I have to get respect before love, is kind of backwards, because the love should be, or the respect should be engulfed in that love.
But there's a lot of men that don't feel respected.
Feel very disrespected.
That feels disrespected, emasculated almost, in a quote-unquote love relationship. But I 100% agree with you to think that they are separate is interesting as a concept. But literally, if how I'm thinking that I'm expressing love is through love, like here's the thing, I think that people try to give stuff the way that they want it, and without understanding that love for you might be respect and love for me might be love, then I'm loving you because I'm loving you, and that's not necessarily respecting you. You know what I'm saying? You with that? Anybody want to touch that? What you think, Jackie?
I think I'm learning a lot about love languages and just understanding like what the differences are, because I used to be like, okay, I'm going to give it how I would want it, but it's not going to be translated real. It's like speaking a different language. Why would I speak Spanish to you and you don't understand Spanish? So I do think that women need love, but it's also like the language, that you have to speak it in. And so, mine is affirmation. Like, you need to tell me all day, every day how you feel, or else I will go crazy, right? And honestly, I think that that's even honesty that's a part of that. So I think when you start to talk about what people need and the love that women need, I think the language is important to talk about.
That's good. So love means to you understanding my language of love, and then giving that language of love to me in every space.
That's good.
That's good. What does love mean to you, Kai?
Love, like going off of the love languages, of course, love me the way that I want to be loved. We went over this. We talked about it. I know how you want to be loved. So love me in that way. Love me in the way that God loves me and that God loves you. You know his love. If you say you know him, you know his love. So love me in that way. Love me in that same manner. I can do no wrong in your eyes. And even if I did do wrong, we can clean it up. It can be fixed. So love me in that way.
Unconditionally is what I think I hear you saying. Like, don't hold your love, don't hold against
back your love.
my mistakes. Don't hold back your love because of something. I would need unconditional love. What is respect? What does it mean to you to be respected?
Oh, I was gonna say that.
Go ahead.
Yeah. So for me, it's just knowing how to handle me, like knowing how to speak to me. I'm a musician, so everything in my life revolves around sound. If it's too much,
wow,
the voice is too high,
it's too loud.
Stop.
It's too loud.
Start over. Break it down. I need you to sound sweet when you talk to me. I need you to convey it in a way that's lovely for me to be able to take it, to be able to keep it, not to just hear you one time and then don't even know what you said if you ask me 10 minutes later. Like, all of that, respect, how you handle me, how you handle my thoughts, my ideas, my perspective. All of that is a huge part. Respect is definitely key for me.
That's good. So respect for you is tone. I think respect for me is tone too.
Yes.
It is.
Huh?
It is.
I think respect is tone for me too, because
that's good.
If you feel disrespected, it's usually in the tone. It's not what you say. It's like, don't talk to me like that. Don't say it like that. You know what I mean? Like, call my name.
Absolutely.
I want to come when you call my name. Like, I don't want to run when you call my name. I want to come when you call my name. And so I agree with that.
Yeah. Then my love language is physical touch.
Right.
So if we in a heated argument, rub my leg or something.
Right. Calm me down, right? Bring me in, right? Exactly. Yeah.
That's all right.
When I'm in a heated discourse with my wife, she try to touch me. I'll be like, don't touch me.
That's good.
Because immediately she's going to calm me down. Touch is powerful, yeah.
Right.
I love that. It'll get it right. Janae, what you thinking over there? What you want to say? How do you translate love, right? If women need love or translate love as love, what does that look like?
Love is all action. It's all action for me. I kind of feel like I have many love languages, to be honest. Like, I want you to give me gifts. I want you to touch me. I want you to speak nicely to me. I want you to tell me constantly that you love me.
Yeah.
That's what it looks like for me.
Yeah.
I am a very vocal person. I communicate. It's not hard to figure me out because I tell you what I want. So there's no confusion. Because I don't want you to be confused. Right. I think on the aspect of the respect thing, I still feel like respect has to be earned. Because I do feel like
controversy.
When you come from when you come from that masculine side of the fence, sometimes you demand respect before you earn it. Or what are you doing to get my respect?
How do you earn respect?
I think you have to just show me how you feel about me. Show me how you feel about me. Listen, I could be completely wrong. Y'all eat me up and straighten me out.
We're going to let you go ahead and go for it, though.
I just need you to show me that you appreciate me. I think appreciation is so key and is so important. Okay. Show me that you support me. And don't get me wrong, I'm not a show me kind of girl, because I do, even though it sounds like it. But I think you still start with a level of respect. But I still think that it's up to you to maintain that level of respect. If you are not, if what you are showing me is more on the diminishing side of things, it's hard for me to hold that respect for you. Like, you want me to respect you, but you out here doing things that don't exhibit love. You don't honor. You know, you're missing some things before I can really lean in hard on that respect.
That's interesting.
I don't know. Am I wrong?
No.
You know, it's I
think it's a
don't.
perspective.
Yeah, I'm gonna let Donald say before I say what I think about it, right? I mean,
I'm only 8 years in, Donald.
No. You're not wrong, because one thing that I would joke with my wife about is like, you know, you said certain this is respect is earned over time or with a consistency, right? So I was joking with my wife and be like, well, you ain't never seen me steer you wrong. Right. I've been consistent, and so if I'm trying new things or I'm doing new things, just get on the board with me.
Yeah.
So I agree to a certain extent that yes, there has to be a base level of respect, but consistency over time is built, and I can trust that you're not going to lead us in a ditch, or you are a man of God, that I can trust the God in you. So to me, that's, you know, there has to be a level of trust, and that is earned over time. But it's kind of hard for me to say, being married to somebody and I don't trust or respect them or believe that they're going to, in the case like being a woman looking for a husband to lead, right? So it's kind of tough for you to be trying to depend on somebody that you can't trust, that ain't consistent, and, you know. So yeah.
Go ahead. What?
No, I just had a question. So how do we deal with? I mean, I imagine when you're dating somebody, you automatically, well, I ain't gonna say automatically, but you, before you say, all right, this is my girlfriend, this is my boyfriend, I'm sure you go like, I can respect him, I can trust him, you have that. So at what point, or how do we navigate communicating like, all right, cool, the respect is going down a little bit. So don't let me think I'm doing good, or I'm, you know what I'm saying? And then I just start feeling like a little bit of disrespect. Like how do we communicate along the lines like that the respect is shifting, or times change, emotions change, decisions may not happen the best way that they're supposed to happen. Like, but how do we keep the communication so that the respect doesn't be diminished?
I think that has to be articulated. When a man feels if the respect level has been there and then there's a turn or there's a change, there's a reason for that change. One, it could be something that you did. Two, it could be that I am reliving what men do in my life. Like you just showed me something that I've already experienced, and I haven't healed from that, and now I'm making you pay for another man's actions. So that's a great place. There's a great place of conversation, that the only way the conversation can come up is if a man says, you know, when you said that, I felt disrespected, or when you did that, I felt disrespected, versus just being quiet and just waiting to see what's going to happen or throwing away the relationship. It's a moment to have a conversation of where does our relationship go next, because my husband and I, we had that, you know, at the beginning. He was just like, you know, you sweet, you acting sweet, you nurturing, but hey, mean girl coming out. Who is that? Where she come from? Why is that happening? And I could have easily got offended, got in my feelings, like, what you talking about? I'm a mean girl, like all that. And the Lord was like, honey, pull all of that down.
Because I was making the decision.
Because I didn't know he was making a decision. He wanted to marry me or not. And the Lord was like,
on that,
pull all that down and be honest about where you are. And I just said to him, I've come at this point in several relationships and it didn't work. So for you not knowing where we're going, how it's going to be, I didn't want to give myself to something that I felt like you was just going to lead me down the path everybody else has led me. So I was making him pay for something that he didn't order. But that if he wasn't confident enough to say that, and I wasn't transparent enough to know where I was, this wouldn't be.
It wouldn't be.
That's good.
Because it was a literal deal breaker in the moment, because you were showing me glimpses of what I wanted, and then you were showing me glimpses of what I could not have at the same time, in the same person. And I'm like, which one? Which one? Because the nurture girl, let's marry her. Mean girl, let's get rid of her. So it's like, I'm out. Like, tell me which one you are, because that one is going to determine this. And then can you be consistent with the one that you choose? If you choose to say, no, really, I'm nurture girl, then can you be consistent to carry that out, or are you going to switch up? Because I was making a decision, and I needed to be able to communicate that in that same space.
And you have to. And I think that is where relationships don't move past a moment. Like, that is a legitimate, a breaking point. That is a legitimate conversation. I don't feel loved. I don't feel respected. And you have to be honest about where that's coming from and why that is. And you have to take self-responsibility for that conversation, or you can't get past that moment.
Yeah. So you want to say something on that? Because I got to respond to Janae's statement.
No, I was agreeing in the sense too that I remember, like, sometimes I have a mental tally in my head, and I think women
mental tally,
that I've never actually expressed. You don't know that there's a spreadsheet in my head that checks off every time you disrespect me, every time you show up late, every time you lie, or some story that you said is inconsistent. Like, okay, check, 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 and you lose tallies, and that affects your respect. So in my mind, every time the lie comes up, you lost the tally. And so now you probably are wondering now, like, what happened? This is not the same girl. You lost your tallies, man. I don't even got nothing left for you in my brain. Like, you have already, like, exceeded, like, what I'm capable of dealing with.
That's so I love that. What if I gave you, what, she can get an award. She can get an award, but it's still not going to change what I'm about to say.
Oh my God.
What if I gave you a secret? What if I told you that every man is trying to live up to your ideas about him? What if I told you that every man, the man that's in your life, is trying to live up to your ideas about him, and that a man will rise or fall concerning your thoughts concerning him? What if I told you as a woman that you are so powerful that your thoughts that translate into words literally determine how high a man goes or how low he goes? What if I told you that your expectations that are expressed through your language is the literal catalyst or cap for every man that's in your life? So therefore, if men translate respect as language, right, or as love. So if respect is speaking highly of, or holding in high regard, or holding praise, that to say that you got to earn respect, I don't really know how to earn that. I don't know how to earn it. I know how to lose it. I know how to diminish it, but I don't really know how to earn it. Either you're going to give it to me because of how you see me, what you think about me, what you believe about me, or you're going to withhold it from me like some carrot until I dance enough for you, or love you, or make you feel loved enough. And so respect is now reciprocated based on if I show you some side of me, as opposed to giving me what you want as a seed and sowing it into me. My choice in my conversation with my wife to show me which side of her it was. After we got past that point, then I was ready. I'm moving forward. The sealing of the deal of me wanting to marry my wife on the night that I actually proposed to her culminated in a conversation where she starts to just tell me how she sees me. My future, not where I am, not what I had, not what I own, not what I was driving, not what I was wearing. Sitting in the back of a plane. We were on the back of a plane because I had flew with her mama to go meet her father and ask for her hand in marriage. And I'm trying to figure out the right moment. We not in first class yet. We not in business class or comfort plus yet. We in the back of the plane, and she just starts saying how she sees me. And if she starts saying how she sees me and what she thinks about me and what she thinks I'm capable of and who she think I am and the hand of God that's on my life and what all this stuff not only made me feel respected and feel loved, it made me feel seen. And now her idea of me is the only idea I'm trying to live up to. I don't care about all these other girls that might think they interested in me, think I'm cute, think I'm handsome, think I do whatever. I'm trying to live that idea. I'm trying to live the idea that she expressed to me, how she think I would be as a father, how she thought I would be as a husband, how she thought I would be as a provider. That sentence, if we was under the bridge, you would get us out. Like, all that is like, that's what I'm living for. That level of respect is what I'm now living for. for because her ideas about me is the only thing that I'm living for. So the danger in keeping a tally, the danger is earning it, the danger in showing the respect, and making me have to dance for it, is that I never meet that because you never really believed that I could be that. You expected the worst. You expected me not to measure it up. You expect, even when I disappoint you in the highest level, instead of harping on the disappointment, be like, you know what? It really crushed me because I thought you were so much smarter than that. And I feel like you're better than that. And I feel like you're wiser than that. Like, that really crushed me the way you handled that, because I really thought that you was this person and that person. And when a man started hearing what you see him and think about him, he started going, well, wait a minute. I need to adjust because I don't want you to lose that picture of me. Don't lose that idea about me. I want to live out that idea. And we self-sabotage our relationships because we come into it thinking that you're never going to live up to my expectations. So we don't live up to movie love because we don't believe in the movie. We love it. We love it when it's on screen. We love it when it's in a song. But we don't really believe that it can be our own. And when we don't, we never get it.
No.
We never get it. I failed. I made mistakes. I've not been perfect, but I never forget her idea of me. And I'm always trying to live my most authentic idea of me, what God thinks about me, and what she thinks about me. And then when you have kids, then I care about what my kids think about me and what my family thinks about me. Because that's how a man is wired. So respect, to give generalization, is translated as to hold in high regard and praise. So a man wants to be held in high regard. He make it home, no police shot him, nobody killed him on the street. He came home, he passed, as Mom Williams say, he passed all them other houses to come home to me. When he hit that door, he's like, hey, you made it, congratulations. You didn't die, black man. Congratulations, you made it back home. You made it back in the crib. Black men didn't kill you, police officers didn't kill you, and black police officers didn't kill you. You made it home. It's a celebration. Thank you for making it home. Thank you for coming home. He just go, where you going tonight, bro? I'm going home. What you doing after work? Going home. Why? Because every time I go home,
I'm a king when I go home.
I get celebrated.
And
I get rewarded for going home.
And you should think about, if your husband's not trying to run home but run to other spaces, where is the place that he's being celebrated?
Because that's where it starts. He's getting that respect from somewhere
else.
And it's not always another woman. It's your affirmation of your guys.
Exactly.
Like, yo, you dope, you sweet, you whatever. Like that environment that men want to be celebrated. They go where they're celebrated. They don't want to hear complaining all the time. Even if a woman changes her language about what she has to complain about, to turn it inside out and say, you know what, it would really be helpful if you did such and such. Right. Or I would appreciate if you do something. You don't never do blah, 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 blah. You know, every time I see you, you da 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 da. That's tearing down, tearing down, tearing down. He running from that because that doesn't feel respect. Because respect is translated in language. And so men want to feel respected. Be wise, ladies. Turn that thing inside out. Even if it's something that you're not getting that you want, turn it into an expectation. Turn it into an opportunity for a celebration. That appreciation goes a long way because men want a woman who celebrates them. And to be fair, women want a man that gives me something to celebrate.
Exactly.
Right? Yeah, because you want, because I get what you're saying, Janae. I'm not throwing it all out because you're saying I don't want to lie.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? I don't want to. Every time it's got to always be a confession of faith. You know, every time I see you, I'm just
declare.
Every time I see you, I'm decreeing and declaring. I mean, it ain't never reality. It ain't never real. But I think that it works both ways. Yes, men have to give you something to celebrate, but a man will rise and falls to your ideas about him. If you can put that in your head, then he starts working towards giving you something to celebrate, and he does not want to be a disappointment, and he does not want to be in a doghouse, and he does not want the drama every time he comes home. But don't just only talk about what's wrong, also talk about what's right. Man, y'all learning something tonight, man? Yes. We all the way in. I don't know what time it is. I don't know how far we in. I don't know if we should keep going. I think we about at 45 minutes. Y'all want to push through just just 10 more minutes
10
or what?
more.
Let's just go through. It's so good, right? So wives are made to love. Wives are made to love, to want love, and to expect love. Wives are made to love, want love, and expect love. Husbands are made to be respected, to want respect, and to expect respect. Now, here's the challenge, and y'all gonna have to chime in on this because, as y'all can see, I'll just go, all right? Neither, I'm gonna say it again. Wives are made to love, want love, and expect love. We agree on that. Husbands are made, men are made to want respect, to be respected, and to expect respect. Straight across the board. The challenge is neither one of us know how to give the other person what they need the most. Neither one of us know how to give the other person what they need the most because we learned it from someone else besides the person who needs it the most.
Exactly.
What if I could humble myself and just say,
What do you need?
I don't know how to love you the way you need to be loved. Teach me how to love you. That just changed the whole, that's a whole song, Donna and Sean. That's a whole song. That's a whole song right there. I mean, I don't gotta come to this relationship with pride. I know what I'm doing. I know how to do this. I don't know how to love you the way I need to be loved. Teach me how to love you. Teach me how to love you. Teach me how to love you. I don't know how to respect you the way you need to be respected. Teach me what respect means. That in itself, you feel how wide open the relationship just got? Every relationship that comes to it without a previous knowledge of feeling like you gotta know, that just say, I don't know, but I wanna know, it changes the game. Yeah. Go on, Donald.
Now, I'm just going to say that gives the vows till death do us part a whole nother meaning.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry if we just talking about married. I'm obviously married, but it gives a whole different other meaning because it takes a lifetime to learn this person that you were meant to, that you gave your vows to, your life to. So it's the expectation has to be patient. It has to be long suffering. It has to be a series of emotionals, of seasons of ups and downs to let me learn you. Because while we saying we want to learn them and grow together, we're forever changing.
Ever.
Like, I'm going to be 40 in a year and a half, and it's like I'm totally different
who you were at
than
21.
who I was. Yeah. And my kids are teenagers. And it's like always adjusting. Yeah. So, I love what you said. I just wanted to chime in and say, yes, if we can humble ourselves and say, teach me, but can you be patient with me?
While I learn.
While I'm learning.
While I learn.
That's so
and
good.
I think also with you saying that to teach me that as a grown person and my life experiences as a little girl up until a grown woman, that there has been things that have traumatized me. There has been things that have made me question love. There have been things that made me think that love did not exist. And so when I tell you I want to teach you how to love me, you're taking on all of that stuff. And I'm having self-evaluation of my life and where I am.
Where I didn't learn
and what I didn't learn and how I learned it and what caused me to be this way that I don't want to be, and the essence of who I am and what I want to be, and to tell you that so that you don't touch that owie, that you don't push that right there, and you know the reason why there is trauma there or there's a scar there, and you respect it.
Yeah.
You don't try to diminish it, but you respect it, and that's my life journey. So when you tell somebody to teach me, you're saying with all that I am and where I am right now, all of my life experiences that has caused me to be this way, I want to teach you my way, Erica's way, the way that God has allowed me to come to this life, because all of this is working for my good. And if this is my good that I'm offering you, then you are being given the best that I am, where I am right now. Yeah. And you're telling me that you're going to take, as Donald said, a lifetime. So it's like you put your yes out in front when you say a lifetime. Right. It's like it's all the way over there, but we're right here. Right. And so for you to get the totality of who I am and the expression of who I am, you got to take the journey. You got to put your yes out in front, and you have to be patient, and we can. I'm mean, and I guess for me that coming from parents that are divorced, and then watching their interactions with each other after the divorce just made me just kind of realize you have to make a decision.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, like you say, you love who you love, and then you realize the older you get that you probably could have just
Made
stayed
that
with
work
that
out.
person. You could have just worked that
Coulda
out.
worked out.
It was a season.
Yeah.
It was a moment. It was a couple of years.
Yeah.
If you just held on and had faith, like you have faith in God giving you a miracle and all this other kind of stuff, he would have gave a miracle in your marriage. But we don't make the decision to have longevity in certain things. And now I am not a person that's saying that you should stay with people because of
Suffer.
abuse and all that
Right.
other kind of stuff.
But we give up too quick
Exactly. It's not that conversation. But it's just putting your yes out in front and knowing that yes and to death do you part is a journey.
Yeah. It's good. Go on, Leo. I saw your mind thinking.
because I think the thing that kind of stuck out to me, navigating through like the single life to get to that place, you know, in the back of the plane to, you know, ask for...
To the front. Yeah. Are we in the front now? I ain't gonna front. I ain't gonna front. We in the front.
I think, and kind of like going on Janae's point, I think the most important part is intention.
Yeah.
Having that intention to say, okay, I know me coming into this thing, I want to learn how to love you.
Yeah.
And I'm intentionally making those steps to say, like, I know where we're going.
Yeah.
Or I know where God is taking us.
Right.
And I'm going to make sure I'm moving with that intention, not just here, just experiencing it.
That's real.
So,
yeah, I love that. Kai, you was about to say?
Yeah, I was intention as well as security. So when I'm secure within myself, I'm going to ask someone, how can I help you?
Right.
What can I do for you? How can I love you? And I'm hoping my partner will be able to do the same.
Yeah.
And when you're secure in yourself, you build security in your relationship. You
That's
build
good.
security in that love so that you are able to love them the way that they need to be loved and have that longevity as well.
That's real. Jackie, you got a last word you want to say right here?
Yeah, I guess for me, he brought up something about intention, and I think just as a single woman myself, I think there's a lot of men who are more so in it for the challenge versus the intention, and discerning between the two of, are you just trying to talk to me because you think this will be something you can conquer, right? Or are you actually intentionally trying to have that conversation with me at the back of the plane? So I think, I don't know, it seems like that's something that's hard for us to discern.
But that's that checklist. I mean, you do got to discern it, but it's a part of the challenge also, I think a man is coming for the challenge, and long as the challenge isn't challenging because I'm trying to love you, I don't mind taking on the challenge of showing you love or winning you, but I don't want to be in a challenge for the sake of a challenge, because I got to fight through all of these barriers of these other people's failures and these other life experiences that I'm fighting through. And I think there's a discerning there that a woman has to have. Are you challenging for the conquer, or is it a challenge for the challenge? But I think it's also there's a sensitivity that a woman also has to have in that single space to not always make it so hard, right? Because of something that's before that moment. Like, life is hard enough. Relationships can be hard and can be challenging. So don't put the challenge for the sake of the challenge. You know, that's a discerning point, and I appreciate and respect the truth of asking God for wisdom so I know what the difference is. Sean, you had a moment you wanted to say?
I was just gonna say, I think that's actually something like beautiful about love and relationships. Going back to the first thing that you were saying, like the teach me aspect of it. Like, when you look at it from that perspective, you should never run out of stuff to talk about. There should never be nothing, like, it's always something, because we're always evolving, we're always changing. How you wanted me to love you last week ain't the way you might want me to love you this week. You need something else, something else that I could do. How can I help you? And it's that exchange. You give some, you get some, you give some, you get some, and even maybe a season where I'm just giving.
That's right.
And then it may be a season where I'm just getting. But it's just like the beauty of the relationship is that we agree to work together no matter what, give, to exchange love. What do you need? What can I do for you? How can I help you? I think that's super dope.
That's right. Janae, you want to chime into that? You thinking.
I know. I'm just lost.
We about to wrap up.
No, I mean, honestly, I'm just absorbing.
Okay.
Honestly, because like I said, it's been 8 years for me.
Yeah.
You know, 8 years seems like a long time.
Yeah. For you, it is.
Yeah. For me,
Don't
it
compare
is.
your 8 to his 17, because
Right.
8 is 8. When Leo said, I ain't had none. I'm over there like I'm at 3.
compare my
Right.
3.
Yeah.
I mean, and you know, I'm transparent. We are faced with some challenges.
Yeah.
You know, and my main thing when I was asked to be on this panel, I was like, Lord Jesus, don't let me bleed. Please don't let me bleed. You know, but I thank God for this conversation. I feel like we can just keep going for hours. It feels very therapeutic for me right now.
Yeah.
But I appreciate everything that each of you said.
Yeah.
I'm literally going to absorb it, take it, especially what you said, Pastor, and just try to apply it as best I can.
I love that. I figured out what we're going to do. We're going to have an after the afterglow in just a moment. So you might want to come back for like Oprah had the after show. You can come back for the afterglow. But I want to wrap up this segment by just saying that everything usually that a woman learns about a man, she learned from another woman, or she learned from a broken man. I know I just started a whole nother conversation, right? But everything that a woman learned about a man, she learned from another woman, which is a problem, or she learned from a broken man. And then when you come into a relationship and you try to apply that stale, stinky, broken knowledge to your relationship, you don't give it a chance. Instead of just saying, yo, I learned about a man from a broken woman, or I learned about a man from a broken man. So that means I don't know nothing about a man and I don't know nothing about a woman. And guess what? I'm here for you. Let's learn. Let's collect. Let's teach me how to love you. Teach me how to respect you so I can give you what you want and what you need the most. We posture ourselves in that space, all relationships, all friendships, all work relationships, dating to be better. You won't be quick to sex if you really collecting data. Teach me how to love you. What am I learning through? What am I growing through? You're not going to be jumping past it to get to the bed because you like, we got all this other stuff that's so significant and so important that we really got to deal with, right? So what a man wants, what a man needs, what a woman wants. It's been a real talk tonight. Man, it's been real. Don't worry about no music on the background. We're going to sit right here. We'll put a track underneath the bottom. All right, just so you know. This is 100% organic. We're going to finish this conversation, but we're going to close out this afterglow to let the people go that got to go. And those of you that want to come back, you can come back for after the afterglow, all right? But listen, we want to let you know that we hope you learned something today. We're in a 30-day love challenge, right? Again, we said it's not just about marriage relationships. It's about all relationships. The context, everybody needs love. You see people here that's single, people here that's married, been married a long time, been married a short time. Everybody needs love, and we challenge you to express and fill your life with love. Give what you want. Don't just sit back and wait for it. Give what you want. Your life will be better as a result of it. We celebrating Hannah and Pastor Hannah Love this month. We pushing it, y'all. It's a love celebration. 30 years of marriage. Man, they're an amazing love story. They're going to be a part of the Afterglow. You don't want to miss it. It's coming up where we're going to sit down and talk to them. I'm so excited to have them in this space, and we're going to celebrate their love. Listen, so if you want to get a ticket to show up to this celebration of love, great artists, great music, great food, get your ticket. Download it, get it today, all right? Make sure that you connect to the celebration of love. 30 years, Hannah, John Hannah. All right, listen, so will you grow? I know this was good for you. I know it was good for you because it was good for us. You heard Janae, she like, can we just sit up here? Sean said, give me my phone right now, right? We know it was good. So will you grow? It was cheaper than therapy. but it'll get you where you need to go. Put a seed in the ground, all right? This is your time for seed time and harvest. 3 ways to give on the bottom of the screen. Make sure you put something in. Let it bless you. Be a blessing in the level that it bless you. All right, what we say, I'm a tither and a giver. I'm blessed beyond measure. I have more than enough. I'm living in my overflow. I'm living in Ephesians 3:20 for the rest of my life. This is our confession. Let it be your confession and your declaration. Afterglow is going to keep on going for the afterglow. Catch us later, all right? Thank you for showing up. Tag somebody, tell somebody. Get part 1. It was great. Let's go. And we out. after the afterglow. We never had an after the afterglow. The afterglow was so good, we just had to keep going. We know that last session was long, but we was talking about what a man wants, what a man needs, what a woman wants, right? And so we was talking about everything you learn about a man, usually you learn from somebody else other than that person. And my wife and I always talk about how we should never bring our expertise from any other experiences to any relationship, because we don't give that relationship a fair chance, right? So it's a hard disconnect to go like, I'm gonna leave on the cutting floor my last pain or my last hurt or whatever I learned or whatever, but it's also not fair. I think one of the fastest ways that my wife and I was able to connect was after I got a divorce, I didn't penalize her. I was really intentional about purging the pain so I wouldn't penalize her. And even though she was never married, she was in a relationship longer than my marriage. You know what I'm saying? So she had to come to it without penalizing me for the pain. And so we're mature, we're grown, we know where we are, and we can come to the relationship where we learn from each other. We was open to learn from each other. That's that sense of vulnerability that you was talking about, Leo, that, I could say what I think I know, but really it didn't work. So why would I bring it, right? So why do we bring the stuff from the last relationships when they didn't work to the next relationship and try it out here like it's gonna get better?
I think because we believe that what happened in that last relationship is who we are and not based upon the experience that the person was giving us in the relationship. That, this relationship could have brought out the worst in me because of what the person was giving to me. So it was not my best person, but it's what I gave in this relationship. Right. So I think sometimes it's just because you think that that's who you are. That's a part of who you are.
So yeah, that's so good. So when a man and a wife, a husband and a wife are in a relationship, if a husband feels disrespected, it's hard for him to show love to his wife. And if a wife don't feel loved,
it's hard for her to respect him.
It's hard for her to show respect. Now, Leo, the innocence of your perspective won't let me go, because you like, but how do you even disconnect the two? Don't they just go together? And I'm saying this is how it gets disconnected. People find it hard to give love if they don't feel respected, and they find it hard to feel respected if they don't receive love. That's how it gets there. What you think about that?
That was too heavy.
It's the way you look.
I'm about to pray on that one.
Really?
But it's interesting because the Bible, and you can help me, but the Bible never tells a husband to respect his wife. He tells him to love her. Right. And the Bible never tells a woman to love her husband.
It's true.
It tells him to respect it. So it's like, if that's in our quote unquote constitution.
Not quote unquote.
Well, that's in our constitution as kingdom citizens, then there has to be some validity to that.
Yeah.
Then it's true, because I don't really fight to love my husband. I fight to respect him. And that's just honest.
Inside yourself.
Inside of myself. And that, it's something that I won't say I have to do daily, but if I feel a funky way, the funky way is the respect. It's not loving him or making sure he good, like none of that. It's the respect. It's the can I speak highly of him? Can I not have a crazy facial expression? Can my tone not be like his mama or somebody that's demeaning him? That is something emasculating. So it's like, with all of those things, I always have to fight with respect. I don't have to fight with love.
Not genuine. Janae, you gotta go. See you later. See you later in the afterglow. We appreciate it. I love that honesty. I love that honesty there, because it's not about the respect respect. It's about showing respect.
Right.
And I think that the key here, you got 2 boys, I got 2 boys in terms of sons, right? And I think mamas gotta also realize that they boys are translating love through respect. And have to make sure the tone that they talk to their boys is not emasculating, right? Their grandsons, their nephews, because boys are also translating love through respect, the same way that grown men are. You raising somebody else's husband. You raising somebody else's man of God. You know what I'm saying? And so how you handle them is essential. You're shaping a paradigm. Go on, Sean. You can get the red seat, so you don't got to bend over.
And it's interesting because my sons will tell me, Mom, why you saying it like that? Well, I was trying to do what you said, but why you saying it like that? And I just be like, because I want to. But then I hear my husband, I'm like, I can't talk to this little man this way. And it's not that I change my words, but I change how I'm saying it to them. And it causes, and because they're so innocent, they don't even filter through, I shouldn't say that back to my, that's their initial response, because they haven't built up layers of disrespect. Their respect level is very pure. So it's like when they feel the disrespect, it instantly hits them and they instantly respond because they haven't developed the layers of disrespect. So they don't get it. So it helps me, unfortunately, me and Monet are outnumbered, and I have to teach her how to do certain things. Like, don't call Jonathan like that. Don't say it to him like that. He can hear you in a certain kind. Well, he's not, but you got to learn. Right? You've got to learn how to be able to articulate without being, quote unquote, interpreted as disrespectful.
Right. I want to make these statements and then I'm going to push to the last point and y'all can respond and then we done. So when a man feels disrespected, it's hard for him to love his wife. When a wife feels unloved, it's hard for her to respect her husband. Without love for him, she reacts without respect. Without respect from her, he reacts without love. And this is how people get in loveless relationships, and they just dealing with it. A wife's softened tone and facial expression can do more for her marriage than she can imagine. Softened tones.
This is good.
That softened tone.
Stay there a little bit.
Yeah, a wife's softened tone. So like, Donna, when my wife used to work, she worked in education, and she worked as a principal, and she's dealing with parents and students her entire day. And when she come home, there's this roughness that a principal gotta have, you know what I'm saying? And I respect the roughness in the workplace, but in the crib, I was just like, nah, I'm gonna need you to soften your tone, because that tone, that aggressiveness could change a whole environment and a whole mood, a facial expression. It can create some tension. And so we had to work on what we would be like, take a ride around the block, stay at work a little longer, just so you can come home with the right spirit and setting the tone for the home.
Yeah, and it was quite difficult for me because when we got married, I was already 30 and I was already, established and set in my ways. And I was always in a leadership role. And as a woman, then as a black woman in leadership, you always are fighting against the good old boys club. So you have to show up with a certain amount of confidence. You have to make sure that you're respected. Like, it's just a whole lot that a woman goes through in leadership that a man doesn't have to go through. So sometimes when I looked at my husband, I looked at him as all of the other men that, quote unquote, are disrespecting me in their heads with their facial expressions, versus embracing that this is my husband, this is my friend, this is somebody that I don't have to play these games with. And so it was, I think all of this is solved when both people take self-responsibility and they're confident enough to say what they feel, even if
and feel like they're going to be hurt.
And they're going to be hurt, even if how you're feeling may not, quote unquote, be okay, but be okay with just saying that this is how I'm feeling. I'm not saying it's right or it's wrong, but this is how I'm feeling. And if I can't say it to you, who am I going to say it to?
Yeah, that's good.
Can I just say?
Please say whatever you want.
So what you were saying about the reaction of how your wife come home after a long day of work, and so me, that part of my wife, she's like that too. That was what's one of the things that attracted me to her. That feistiness, that I like all that.
Right.
But then you don't like it to a point where you're like, all right now. All right now.
Not directed towards you.
All right now, be careful. But early on, it took some years for us to find that balance of, our vibe together when it came to, all right, she's feeling a way.
Right.
All right, now you about to push me to a way.
Right.
Let's all
Now
settle
we're gonna be
down
in a
and
case.
how
Right.
the communication
Situation.
aspect.
Yeah.
To finding that resolve.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that's real. I mean, and it's like she said, being honest to come and say, I like that about you, but don't point that towards me. You know what I'm saying? And me understanding that sending her out into that was bringing up that all that. So I had to balance it. So we came up with a solution. I need you to go out there and be there, but when you come home, I need you to be softer. So if you need a minute, pull up in a garage, go round the block, decompress, find your way to not bring that home, and I'll find my way to not bring it home. And when we get home, home is not work, like home is not there. So whatever we got to deal with out there, this is our safe space. So let's be honest about it, but let's not bring it home. And that set a different tone so we can keep love and respect in the family. Last point, and we out in the afterglow. The afterglow is men want communication, as Jackie said, and women want connection. Not that women don't want communication, but women are going to communicate. But men want connection, and that's the way we communicate, more than just the multiplicity of words. Would y'all agree with that?
Yeah, I don't want to take
What you think? What you think?
Oh, I'm sorry. I was still trying to process. You said, what did you say it again?
Men want communication, women want connection.
But sometimes men, I know men, when they not saying anything, they're saying something.
Yes.
So how are we're not connecting if you're not saying anything, or if you're not putting action toward what you're saying.
Right.
How are we? So where's that communication?
What is communication?
What is it to you?
If it's not words.
Right.
Right. Because again, we think that the definition is my definition. Communication is words to a woman. To a man, communication is not necessarily the multiplicity of words. So if I'm not communicating, if I'm not talking, you think I'm not communicating.
Correct.
As a man. But actually, if you think about it with your husband, when he says less, you know exactly what he's saying. If you think about it.
Yes, with my husband.
Right.
Yes.
With your husband, if he's not saying something, he's still saying a lot.
A whole lot. Yes.
Exactly. He's communicating. Just because he's not using words, don't mean he's not communicating. So he wants communication in the sense of the same way you understand that when he's trying to talk to you, he just wants you to tell him what it is.
Direct.
Yes.
Yeah, straight to the point.
But on the other way, it's not the way. It's not what you do, it's what he wants from you. It's not what you want back from him. You want it back from him because you know he wants it from you. He's like, I want connection. Women want connection. They want to feel close. They want to feel heard, understood. Chime in, babe.
Oh.
Why are you sitting here chilling back?
No, but they want connection. They want to be heard. They want to be seen. They want to be studied.
Mm-hmm.
And when I'm studied, I want you to acknowledge that you are studying me. I've noticed, I've seen, I paid attention, and that Like I always say, a great date doesn't always have to be this fabulous restaurant. Sometimes it's the preparation that the man makes. He made sure that he found a babysitter. He made sure he made reservations. He made sure that he had certain things at the table or in the car because of just the intentionality. So it's that connection for women that, you see me, because there's nobody else in this world that I want to see me but you. And when men don't connect in that way, we feel that there's a loss. And so that's how you can see women that you have no relationship with. We always notice this in the supermarket or whatever. Women that you have no relationship that will immediately take your side when a man is having a conversation with you, because women know how to connect with women.
Even though she don't know you.
She don't know you. She don't know nothing about you. She's like, here, girl, here go the change, because I know you need it. He's like, wait a minute, I just paid the bill. But women connect instantly with each other because we understand the necessity for connection.
Yeah. I think that when a man is silent, it's something he's not saying, but it's also something he's saying. And I think understanding that women desire to hear a man talk, but he talks differently, And I think the best way to get a man to talk is by asking him the right questions. Not questioning. But asking the right questions.
That's crazy.
There's a difference between. Go ahead, Jackie. You said, what does that mean?
Well, what are the right questions? I'm trying to.
So there's a difference between. You saw how all the men was like, yeah, right?
I'm trying to understand. It seems
because
important.
the difference of asking a question versus questioning is not the same thing, right? So there's a scripture in the Bible in Proverbs that says a man's heart is a deep well, and a wise person or woman know how to draw it out. So it's the curiosity. It's a man wants to have an answers. He wants to solve a problem. He wants to know he doesn't want to feel like he doesn't know. He can't solve a problem. So it's like, instead of questioning, but asking the right questions, you can draw it out. What do you think about that? Well, what are you curious about? And that sense feels a lot different than antagonizing, like, the light swinging, like, where were you on the night of the 5th? And what were you doing? You know what I'm saying? Like, that is not necessarily communication. Like, when girls talk, they just jump right in and and they open and they start sharing. Whereas a man, when he talks, he wants the deep well. No, you good, babe. He wants the deep well to be unpacked.
Exactly. He wants to, and he doesn't want to not know. Yeah. And I think that's what women fail to realize, that when you're having a conversation with a man, that if you ask him something and he does not know, he feels incompetent. So instead of me making you feel incompetent, I'm just gonna simply, if I'm like, where is this going? Like, what is happening, sir? Like, that's questioning versus, you know what? I was just thinking about, like, what is your vision for your life and your vision for this relationship? What is your vision? Because now it's in your court.
Well, what about, babe, about being good with the pause?
Yes, and be okay.
I don't have an answer right now, or let me think about it. Let me contemplate it.
And that is like, but that's what to a woman, and that's what he did with me. And I had to
a woman, she like, oh my God, I'm out of this relationship. He ain't got no answers every time I ask him questions. But she's like, bye. Because do you want me to say something so I said it? Or do you want me to think about what I got to say and give you a real answer?
Because if you really want me to, quote unquote, see you and connect with you, you have to give me the opportunity to know you. And we're in a it could be a similar conversation, but it's not. It could be the same question, but they're two different people in this conversation, and this can go a whole bunch of different ways if I just simply give it room to expand. Right. But I think as women, we always want the answer. You
want me to answer as fast as you answer with your friends.
Right.
And I don't answer that fast. I don't talk the same speed.
Right. And on top of that, most women can out-talk a man. Most of us can. We can give, there's research behind it. We have so many words compared to theirs. So if you don't realize the gender that you're dealing with, then you will make him be like your girlfriends and penalize him because he's not your girlfriend. He's not. He's your man, which is a whole nother thing that we talked about at the beginning of all of this. It's a difference. So we have to give room, because even God gave room.
Yeah.
When he created him, he gave him room before he gave me a woman. He's like, let me hold off on that because she gonna ask you a whole bunch of stuff. So let me hold off. Let me give you some stuff that you already need to be doing.
That's so good, babe. I mean, because it's true. He like made man pause.
He did.
Wait a second. Let me let you get yourself together. Then bring your woman, because the moment she comes, she got a bunch of questions.
And I'm not.
She gonna start talking. Time she come, she's showing up on the ears and be like, hold on, right.
And on top of that, I'm gonna allow you. I'm not gonna even let you know she's there.
Yeah.
You just
so you become aware.
So
of
you
her.
become aware of her, and when you become aware of her and you connect with her, you like, whoa, man, this is bone of my bone, flesh of my flesh. Like he talking all of this. He's talking to her.
Time he's sorry, he start talking to her. First, you can't say a man don't want to talk because you don't even talk to a man that won't talk to you.
Okay, because I'm not
First thing you do is be like, yo, what's your name? What's your number? He gotta talk. He just don't use as many words. Men are direct, women are descriptive. He doesn't use as many words, he's more direct. A man thinks before he talks. A woman talks. A woman thinks to talk. While she's thinking, she's talking. She talks out her thoughts. A man, she talks out her thoughts. She talks out her thoughts. And then the more she talks, the more she thinks about what she thought, and the more her thoughts become clear, the more she talks. And a man go, I'm not gonna say nothing until I think about it, because anything I say, you're gonna hold it against me. Anything I say, if I wasn't sure, if I wasn't 100, if I was still working it out, if it was alive, if I'm in the car with my wife and my daughter with an idea, I'm just in brainstorm mode. So I'm just in low level of, hey, what if we do such and such? They're like, so what day we doing it? What time we doing it? Is it we do? You want me to call? You want me to make the arrangements? You want to do it? I'm like, yo, I was just saying what if, but I was thinking about it. But when a woman starts talking, she thinks to talk and talks to think and thinks through the talk. And when a man talks, he don't talk until he thinks, because especially with a woman, it's never a space for brainstorming. It's always actionable. That's why he talked to his guys, be like, yo, what y'all think? This could be good. And dudes, and that's why girls say, all y'all do is talk. Because dudes will sit back and we still ain't made no action yet, because I don't know yet. We still talking about, I don't know if I'm gonna do it yet, I don't know what I'm gonna do, because we still processing the process of if we gonna actually move on it. Yeah, exactly. And then once we make a decision, then we off and running. We get frustrated with each other because we're not the same. But then we want to be the same. We out. That's after the Afterglow. So good.
My God.